Hello, Betsy. My name is Luis. I use he, him pronouns. You go by Betsy, correct?
Yes.
And is there any special way you would like to be addressed?
No, just Betsy's fine, and I go she, her pronouns.
All right, perfect. Thank you, Betsy.
Yeah.
So, I understand you're here because something had happened to you. I heard also that there might be some concern about where you might be staying, especially with what had happened.
Yeah, the place I was staying just, isn't safe. I can't go back there. I'm just really scared that that's the only place to go, and I'm freaking out a little bit because I can't go back there.
Okay, so obviously there's a couple of things that are involved when something like this happens. Like I'm sure you're feeling lots of trauma, lots of stress, but we're going to focus on some of the immediate things, which is where are you going to stay when you leave here?
Okay.
So tell me who currently is at the place you're staying that makes you feel uncomfortable, and tell me everyone else that lives there.
Well, it's an apartment with my friends. My two of my friends live there, but their boyfriends come over pretty often. So they pretty much live there too. So there's like four of us, or there's four of them plus me, so there's five of us.
Okay, and then just immediately coming to your mind, is there any other place that you would feel comfortable staying or asking people that you'd be able to stay at, like a family or friends?
No, I don't really have any family here. I'm from Arizona and all my family's back in Arizona. Um, no, and I don't really have any other friends. Those are mostly the only people I hang out with are the people that live at that apartment.
Yeah, like the friends that you have are the ones that you were already living with.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you said you lived in Arizona. How recently did you move to Utah?
Last year.
Okay, last year. Was there a particular reason why you moved?
Well, I was living with my parents and they couldn't really afford their house anymore, so they were gonna have to move just because rent was too expensive, and they kind of told me that there really wasn't any room for me to be there anymore. And then my friend Kelsey was moving to Salt Lake, so I just decided to go with her.
Okay. And then Betsy, I know this seems like kind of like a redundant question, but what is it specifically about your current living situation that makes you feel like unsafe to be there?
Well, I was assaulted, and the person who assaulted me is still living there. And my friends really don't believe me that it happened, so they don't want to tell him to leave, and they don't think that it's a big deal, and that I just don't want to go back there and have to be in that awkward situation and have to see him, and I can't put myself at risk again.
I agree with you. I don't think that you should. And I'm sorry that they don't believe you. That's the hardest part about the situations when you feel like the people that should support you are not doing that.
Yeah.
Um, so case management. So I'm like I said, I'm a social worker, and case management usually is able to help specifically in your situation, connect you with different resources, such as women's shelters and things like that for at least temporary placement if you're comfortable with something like that. People usually tend to go with like friends or family, but in the case that you don't have anyone you feel that you can count on, typically they're able to connect you with at the very least some temporary housing or some temporary placement.
Okay.
Do you have any questions about that?
Well, will they help me before I have to leave here? Because I don't know where I'm gonna sleep tonight.
I think so. I'll just have to contact them. They'll probably come in here next and talk to you.
Okay.
One more question they require me to ask is what's your current source of income? Like, are you currently employed? What does that look like?
Well, I had a job at KFC, but I was supposed to go in today, and so they're kind of mad at me for not showing up today, so they might fire me, but I work part-time at KFC.
Okay. Um, and that's actually something that we can write a doctor's note for when these type
Okay.
of things happen. So we'll be able to provide you with that, or I'll be able to request one so that you'll be able to use that with your employment because it's not
Okay.
fair for them to be mad at you for this sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, any other questions for me, Miss
No.
Betsy? Okay,
Mm-mm.
thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay. Um, Hi, Louise. My name is Shannon. I am a social worker here at the hospital, and the doctors let me know to kind of come and talk to you because we just want to make sure that we're, giving you all the help that you need today. Do you go by Louise? Can I call you that?
Yes, I go by Luis. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah, so is it okay if I ask you some questions? I just want to make sure that, whatever we can help you with, we are going to help you with. I don't want to miss anything. So I'm going to ask you a few questions if that's all right.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm curious about, do you have employment at this time?
I do.
You do? Okay, where do you work?
I work construction with an uncle of mine.
Oh, okay. Um, so do you feel like you have does that like kind of a steady source of income, or is it kind of?
Not really. He really only asks if I really insist and if he really needs the help. I'm not like I'm on okay terms with him, but not like the best terms.
Okay, so it's not regular.
Not really.
Okay, so how much would you say you make probably in a month?
Um,
Like a typical month? I know it probably varies.
I don't know. Like each time I work with him, I make about like 50 a day.
$50. Okay. And how many days a month would you say that you work?
Probably like, well, I don't know. It's almost like a whole week or like nothing.
Oh, okay. So it's really just you're not sure at any given time
Yeah.
how much money you'll make. Okay. So do you ever feel like, if you buy groceries or you buy food, and do you ever feel like the food doesn't last until your next time you get paid?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. How often do you feel like that happens? Like all the time, or just sometimes, or
I mean,
rarely?
it feels like that, like if I'm not working, and like that's why I like to work with my uncle because like my aunt will make like food for everyone like that works and
Oh, okay.
stuff, and so it's also a way for me to kind of get like lunch and stuff. But
Oh,
it
okay.
seems like I don't really want to ask, but it's like in that situation I don't have to.
Yeah. Okay. Um, so do you ever feel like like go to bed hungry? Does that happen?
Yeah.
Okay. How many days a week would you say that you go to bed hungry?
Um, Probably like 3 to 4, but to be honest, sometimes I don't notice.
Oh, okay. So maybe you just kind of get used to not having a lot of food in your stomach
I
when
think,
you go to.
well, I don't know. Sometimes I prioritize other things.
Okay.
Um, but I do get hungry.
Okay. Do you feel like that you have ever lost weight as a result of like not getting enough calories on a regular basis?
Probably,
Okay. That's not something you've paid attention to or noticed.
not really.
Okay.
I also kind of assume it went with the work.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Do you have any like medical issues that make it so that you have like special dietary needs? Like, do you have diabetes or
Not like that that I know
okay, is there any sort of special diet needs that you have?
of. No,
No? Okay. Are you a vegetarian or a vegan? Anything like that? Okay. Have you ever used food stamps before?
mm-mm,
No? What
no.
about the food bank? Have you ever gone to the food bank? No? Okay. And then you talked about your aunt that you would sometimes she feeds you. Do you ever get food like from other family members or like a church if you go to a church that has food? Do you ever get food from
I
other
mean,
organizations?
so I like live in this basement with like a bunch of other people, and sometimes there's food, but I never rely on that. But um, so I guess sometimes.
Okay. And then what about like a soup kitchen? Do you ever utilize like a soup kitchen? No? Okay. Okay, well, we just wanted to make sure that something like food insecurity isn't something that you struggle with. So it sounds like, your income is kind of up and down, and maybe there are times when you go to bed hungry. Um, So is it okay if we bring in the caseworker to kind of sit with you and go over just some resources you can have just in case, you feel like you need them, if you feel like you're not getting enough food?
Yeah, I think that would be helpful, because when you were mentioning all those things, I guess I don't know why I don't use them.
Okay, yeah. No, I think it would be great for you to have kind of just a list of resources for, if you feel like that's something you need to use. Okay, all right. Well, thank you so much for talking with me, Luis.
All right, thank you.